This video is under fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticisms, comments, news reportings, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. CCNTV, bringing you captivating news since 2019.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. I am your host, Captivating Christian, and along with myself and brother Nate, of course, what day is it? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I feel like Norbit. It is Tuesday. Tuesday is close to Thursday, and Thursday is close to when somebody has to yet again meet the piper. So welcome everybody. Welcome to all you beautiful people. I'll pop into the comment section because you know I don't be here. After a while I'll be doing my thing. But brother Nate, let me know when you're ready to pop on up. All right. Thank you. And since brother Nate gave the signal, I will now introduce you to brother Nate. Oh, hey!
Oh, damn! I get my own introduction.
Yeah, you get your own thing. You didn't step it out, didn't made it up.
Wow! What? I am just impressed.
So yeah, next time it'll be all linked. But so that is your own. You know, because you're brother Nate. You know, you're brother Nate. You're not. You know.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, sir. How are you? How you been?
I'm doing quite well. And yourself?
Okay. I am well. Can't complain too much. Hopefully everybody else is well. Auntie Melissa, I did see you in here for a second. Let's see. Yeah, Auntie Melissa, Miss Regina, how are you? Always a pleasure to see you. Thank you so much for stopping by, hanging out. Patty Duke, always a pleasure. And Miss T. Danielle, always a pleasure. Miss T. Danielle, always a pleasure to see you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. All right. So, yeah, everybody's good. Family's good. UPS has averted a strike, but
You know, they
them drivers about to get paid. Um,
well, yes, it's the essential workers
yeah.
with all that
But I-
all of that stuff going on.
yeah,
They say they need them because they got to
right.
have their goods.
They have their goods on time. But
Hmm.
I will be curious with this huge pay increase to a lot of the drivers. I'll be interested to see if a lot of the drivers remain of mixed, or will they start just being, uh, you know,
White,
saltines? Yes.
they- they'll stay mixed. I don't see white people doing that.
Mm.
I mean, there's a certain class,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, that.
The increase that they're doing though is like
Hmm.
that's pretty. It's pretty hefty. But anyway,
Oh yeah, don't yeah. Believe me, it's not. I don't believe it's going to last. They're gonna take it from somewhere else, though. They
yeah,
always do.
yeah. Of course. All right. So without further ado, let's get started. Of course, this is the part where we talk about the news. So, for an hour, if you don't like talking about the news, you can dip on until we start talking about other bets and lighter
Until the
stuff.
foolishness comes.
Right. But this is the part where we talk about the news and all those news updates. So here we go. Without further ado, let's get started. All right. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get it started with some updates. Some updates more cheerful than others. And here is one that is not so cheerful. So, for those of you who remember the story of Elijah McClain was the young man who was walking home from his job or place of employment, and was the police was called because someone called about a suspicious person around in their neighborhood, and the police then accosted this young man in Aurora, who was on the spectrum, and they proceeded to then have the EMTs come in and administer a shot to him, which that, of course, along with probably the other treatment he was receiving, led to this young man's death. And of course, during this time when the story first dropped, the Aurora area was full of Black Lives Matter protesters, the Al Sharptons of the world, the Benjamin Crumps of the world, so on and so forth. And everybody's attention was on Elijah McClain, his family, and the Aurora Police Department. However, like all the other stories, every single time they do something that is really fucked up in nature, they let some time go by and they figure that we're going to go away and go back to our lives, and we're not going to be concerned about any charges that these police officers get, anything that comes down via indictments or anything like that. And it usually always works out. And so, with that being said, one of the former officers that was charged with the death of Elijah McClain is now asked to have his charges, and his charges have been modified. Justice is not justice for us. It's temporary. It's a temporary fix. It's a band-aid. In this situation, 2 officers were charged with his murder. And again, some time went by, and the lawyer has been asking for a reduced sentence ever since. Just like with Derek Chauvin for murdering George Floyd. Same thing. That lawyer is still fighting. Any thoughts on this?
Yeah, this is the new strategy now. To wait until everything dies down and slowly chip at the sentence to reduce it.
Right.
So basically, every case that you ever hear or that we ever have, um, these people, especially the police officers and the paramedics,
Mhm.
they won't serve their original charges
No.
because they'll find some way of getting. How do you murder someone who wasn't doing anything coming back from the
Anything.
store because someone called the police because he had
Like,
a,
think of
a,
the ski mask
a,
on.
he had a ski mask on.
Yeah.
See, this is when people don't mind their business, mind their fucking
Right.
business.
Right.
Um, he's anemic, so he was cold. And
Right.
the paramedics OD'd him.
Yeah.
They gave him the amount that was for a person that was like 250.
Hmm.
And he might have been maybe 165, 150 pounds.
Right.
So this is the new strategy that they're doing in the background. They wait till everything dies down, and then they slowly chip away at everything.
Yeah.
It's something that we need to keep watching out for, because it's not enough to really make the news
Right.
because it's old news. So they figure there won't be a big outcry. But as long as we keep pushing the issue,
Right.
um,
And to be,
just
go ahead. I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'm finished.
Oh, and just to be clear, the only thing I was going to say that an indictment is just charges. It's just an announcement of the charges that are before the person. So when they always throwing down, oh, indictment has come through or the people have been indicted, that is just an announcement of charges. That is just saying basically in layman's terms that said person has been charged with said crime. Does not mean that they will receive anything, that everything is set in stone as far as any punishment or anything like that. That is not true. And I wish people would stop believing that just because it says indictment that everything's over, the person's going to pay. No, the whole thing can turn around. So just because these people have been indicted, and we praise that after protesting and things of that nature, and then we go away after a verdict has been read. These people have always come back, like the young lady who the Caucasian Saltine who murdered Botham John in his
Yes.
apartment. In his apartment, because she claimed she thought it was hers.
Oh yeah, it was hers, but she wasn't talking about that apartment.
Yeah, I know. We know that because he probably was in there with somebody else. But that's just the whole. The way this is all done now is just absolutely ridiculous. I can't. I really.
Yeah, and this is one reason why we concentrate on the stories that have been in the cycle, and instead of like some of the more salacious stuff that goes on, because it has no life after the 24-hour cycle.
Right.
It's really on life support. It's just a matter of time before you no longer hear about it. And these are the things that are going on in the background.
Yeah, very true. They are playing in the background. Speaking of playing in the background, another old saltine, this Texas woman who is charged with threatening to kill the judge who is in charge of one of Darnell's cases. She also was in her manifesto was attempting to kill Representative Jackson Lee out of the great state of Texas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the lady with the bun.
Yes, the lady with the forever. She's been wearing that old braided bun thing forever.
Well, you never know. You never know. She might have to whip out a chair on a bitch and you never know. So you always must be prepared.
She may carry a folding chair in there. But however, the judge that was threatened is a federal judge, not just local court judge. No, this was a federal judge. I don't think, the problem with Darnell and his followers that he knows he has, that he throw out dog whistles because he know that they're going to get the bone and go chase it like the loving dogs they are, is that he does not equip them with the information they need to when they go pursuing certain individuals to know, like, oh, okay, you can't handle these individuals like you think you can handle every other person, because some of these people that he's out here threatening and that you go out and try to harm have backing that will put you in jail, and there's nothing Darnell can do to save you.
Oh no, because he's not going to use up any of his money to bail you out, especially when he needed it for himself.
He's not even paying his own lawyers. What makes you think he's going to pay you or help you get out of your situation? So yeah, I'm not even going to give this Altine much air. Know that she threatened to kill a federal judge and a congresswoman of the United States Congress, representative of Texas, and it's not looking good for her. And anybody else who tries it, it's not going to look good for them. But of course, because they think they white, they right. So, I don't know. But I blame you. I blame the fellow Caucasians that allowed this to happen, that just went along to get along and was like, well, we ain't bothering nobody. It ain't bothering nobody. It's okay. It's just a little history, just a little white lies to make us feel better, because this is what you've created. This is all in what you've created.
Yeah, but you know what, too? The United States, with all this stuff going on, it has proven that the United States is such a bitch. They're so weak. Everything, it's like everything that has happened. It's like, oh, it's new territory we never imagined. You're a fucking bitch, you know. It is ridiculous. You can't handle. Here, you're supposed to be the top dog, and your slip is showing. Every nation on the planet sees you. Every group on the planet sees you, and then we find out you have no bite because you move so fucking slow.
All the time. So speaking of the United States being a bitch, which apparently in her photo she is a female, and no offense to the females, but that's what the depiction is. If you look at the drawing,
some bitches got dicks. Some bitches got dicks. It's a trans bitch. That's what that shit is.
Definitely is. Well, speaking of the whole thing about America being a bitch, of course we know that there's been an attack on Black history, which is also American history. So I was sent a documentary. Thank you, Patty Duke, because I watched it. It was awesome because I didn't know anything about it, and I shared it on my community wall because it is there. So definitely check it out. It's the I know I'm going to pronounce this wrong, and I was saying it already. The Opeek? No, not Opeek. Yeah, it'll come to me. It was a massacre in Florida, as many others. I can't think of it. I can't pronounce the name of the town right now. Ocoee. And why it escaped me right now, I don't know. But anyway, the town basically just like Rosewood, as in Tulsa, same situation. Tons of people were murdered. No charges were ever given to anybody. A lot of the ancestors that, a lot of the Saltine ancestors, when I say that, have turned it into an all-white town, so to speak, and they don't like to talk about it, nor they know the history. However, as far as any reparations or any kind of paying atonement to what was done, they're not going to do it and never going to do it. And it just highlights a lot of the BS that we go through with this thing of not wanting to address the history and the torment and the torture that these people have done, and just want to pacify it because we're concerned about your feelings, when for years no one was concerned about anybody else's feelings but their own. So now they don't want to feel guilty because they didn't quote unquote do it, but you have benefited from the same kind of treatment that was given. So therefore, since you've benefited from it, you then deserve to know the truth about it. And however it makes you feel, it should make you feel that way. If it makes you feel ashamed, you should be ashamed. And the fact that you still haven't done anything about it, even when knowing the history that you know, says it very clearly. Like the white lady with the glasses who always talks about Rin theory, Jane, I can't think of her last name, but
Jane Elliott.
Jane Elliott, yes. When she always talks about for them to raise their hand if they wanted to trade places with a person, with a black person or a person of color, and no one white in the audience raises their hand, let you know that they know what's going on, that they don't want it for them. And it's just that simple. All right. So moving right along from there, please check out that documentary. It was
yeah, that's the correct spelling that I put in the chat.
Yeah.
And that's in Florida. It was what, 12 miles away?
Right. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, but of course DeSantis wants to.
Yeah.
To come.
But
again,
even the mayor in that city doesn't want anything to do with it. I mean, he's talking about how he's friends with black people. He can direct you to so many black people that know him and know him personally. And it's like, come on. When you, I mean, let's be very clear. When some people have been down there so long and been so inducted in the way things are or how to conduct themselves, that they go along to get along. And it's sad. They don't ruffle no feathers because they don't, because they get, I mean, we see it in politicians. We see it in Uncle Clarence Thomas. What's the agenda for me? As long as I get something out of it, I don't give a goddamn what happens to these people. I just want I just want something for me. What were you gonna say?
Boy, American history must be really bad anytime you want to just omit it.
I mean,
sorry, white folks. Sorry, evangelicals.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
This shit ain't gonna happen.
I'm trying to figure out what's the big. What is it? What is it? I mean, because if at the end of the day you're going to say you're not going to give reparations, or reparations shouldn't be given, or for what, when you have those kind of conversations, but yet you won't even have it in your schooling because you don't want white children
to know about it,
and or feel guilty towards their parents and grandparents. That's what really what it is.
Well, they shouldn't feel guilty anyway. That was their grandparents,
right? But they don't want them to come home and then question their parents.
But now the children should say, well, you know what? They should be able to look and see that we've made great strides. We've changed so much,
right?
That type of thing. But they want to omit it. Period, which does nothing but fan the flames. So let them keep right on fanning the flames.
Yeah, that part is true.
But it's those Christians.
Yeah, it is. It is the Christians. In some new news that I guess I can switch this out. I'll just go back to that one because I thought I put it in the right space. But anyway, former top aide says that he was unaware of the documents clarification reports. I know I have the other story in front of it, but I just switched it around, so I'll do that one next. Basically, this is more Darnell stuff. This, of course, Darnell, basically, remember when the whole thing came up about him having unclassified documents? He tried to say that he knew they were top secret documents and he declassified them because he could do that as the president. Here they have his top aide saying that he was unaware of the document classification report, and also Mike Pence. or Michelle Pence. Michelle Pence also stated under oath that they know nothing about this quote unquote classified documents report that Donald Trump claimed that he did before he took all of those documentation that were classified and highly classified, even above his security clearance, to take it and do whatever he wanted to do with it, sell it. So we shall see what happens with that. But
they're all guilty. It's not just the one. It's not just the one man.
No, it's not.
Not just the one man. They're all in on it. They all want control.
Right. And the thing about it is they're not going to rat out Donald Trump because he's going to sing like a canary and then he's going to tell everybody's business. And they know this. That's why they treat him kind of the way they do. It's like,
but you know what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Of course. You're just
good evening, everybody coming into the chat.
How you doing? So all you're going to do at this point is drag this in, and I've said this before, and put this in front of the American people. And then you're hoping that because of the information that you've given them through these hearings and all these charges, that they are going to go in this booth and make a sound decision.
But they don't have to. It's not going to be hard for most of them because the reason why he got there in the first place is because they're racist. They don't want anything to change.
But this is what I'm saying. How do you expect people to make a sound decision when they've shown you time and time again that they don't give a goddamn about making a sound decision. If they want to put that Cracker Jack back in office, they will move on hot water to do so. If that means having a tantrum and shitting on the hallways of your beloved Capitol that they created, that they, on our backs, that they've created and held up as a shining beacon of democracy, and they shit and piss in the hallways and wanting to hang their fellow Michelle Pence, then yeah.
They just want to see his pink panties.
That's it. They want to see if he's wearing panties or anything else. But yeah, that's crazy. So definitely check out that article. Also, in
oh my goodness! Wait a minute.
What?
Virginia Redbone. Hey, how you doing?
Wow.
How you doing? Long time no see, Miss International. I hope everything is well.
She always catches the replay, but hey, and I thank you for doing
that. Black guns matter.
Yes, black guns always matter. So, of course, with the Darnell situation as well, because I don't have the story up here. So, real quick, his bail has been set, or his little arraignment bail has been set for, is it $200,000?
Yes.
Yeah, it was $200,000. I think his crackpot lawyer was like at $100,000 or $50,000, and then there's somebody else in the group that was down like about $4,000 or something. So they have to turn themselves in by Thursday. If they don't, there will be warrants out for their arrest. Donald Trump, Darnell, aka Darnell, will milk it. And I don't think he's going to show up. I think he's going to dare to. I
got that feeling too.
To have the warrant come out, and then he's going to hope that a bunch of, his fellow saltines grab their guns
and going down there to the courthouse or the station, wherever it is,
and have a fit. Yep, that's what he's hoping. That's just what he's hoping. But they all deserve it. They all deserve it. So I don't feel bad for none of these mofos, because my whole thing is, if it was somebody black or somebody of color, we wouldn't even be going this back and forth. Ask Kilpatrick if they waited to hear him out or give him any opportunity to do anything before they put handcuffs on him, charged him with everything, and threw him in jail for some of the same shit that this president has done, or a former president has done, with trying to steal an election. So this story was new to me. Coming out of North Korea, there asserts that the U.S. soldier Travis King crossed the border after becoming disillusioned with America. I'm not sure what that title is referring to, but yeah. So Travis King, who's a soldier in North Korea, is he based in North Korea or is that?
No, he was. I don't know. He was discharged, but he had been locked up by the South Koreans for fighting, and he was on a tour and darted across the border. They lucky he didn't get capped.
And sprinted into South Korea while on a civilian tour with the Border Village back. This was recently, July 18th.
Yeah.
Okay, he became the first American to confront the detaining in North Korea within 5 years. Wow. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful he didn't get killed because yeah, that would have been a whole nother thing. Go ahead. You were saying?
Yeah, but he's not the first one to ever do that. The first black one, I believe. There was another soldier that ran over to China, and actually they accepted him. He married, had children. Then he moved back to the United States and opened up a Chinese restaurant.
Oh shit!
You can't make this shit up.
That is crazy.
So,
to express his willingness to seek refuge in North Korea or a third country, saying that he was disillusioned by the unequal American society. Okay, so he was doing it to run away from America.
Yeah,
interesting.
Should have picked a tropical island, though.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I would have necessarily picked there.
Well, he is 20-something, and not the brightest.
Yeah.
What I kind of figured too is,
I don't know.
I guess it was just closest at the time. Probably a thought that popped in his head.
He probably had some Mayling's thing, and that's probably what.
Well, you know, you gotta be careful. He came back, he want to have worms and everything else.
All right. But definitely check out that story. That was news to even me. All right, moving right along. Voters of color.
Yeah, he only could run so far.
Right. I mean, voters of color slammed Biden's performance on the economy. And why do you think that is? Of course, because we never see the job growth or the wage increase. And that's Democrat, Republican presidents alike. We're always the last ones to kind of see that economic boom that
we don't ever see it. We don't ever see it. I don't ever remember seeing where they talked about, these great gains.
I mean, you may see a little more when you do your taxes sometimes, but
no, because they always end up taking up somewhere else. It's either, if you get some more in taxes, your
property tax
child. I just did mine. Just giving away fucking money. It ain't even worth. But you it's on the other end. It's an inflation. It's always something else to absorb what little gains that you actually happen to get.
Yeah.
So you never see it. I don't know who they're talking to half the time when they say that. But you know how it is anyway. The United States, everybody else gets a cold and we get the flu. Well, actually now we get the Rona. It's always been like that, and it will always be that way because just the way that things trickle down.
So in this article, many people that they had, I guess, polled said that they preferred former President Donald Trump's economic viewpoint than that of Joe Biden. And I say that to this. It was Obama's to begin with. I mean, the only thing that he did that was different was release all of the environmental legislation and restrictions that were on a lot of the companies so they could do more shit and pollute more shit and make more money and have all these extra bonuses and things of that nature, which were capped under the Obama administration. However, of course, it looks great because when you could say, "Oh, tax cut," that always sounds great. People always, "Ooh, tax cut, that sounds awesome." One, the little bit of tax cut you get is nothing compared to what the big wigs get. That's really a tax cut. But then who pays that bill? They don't.
And when they're talking about cutting Social Security and Medicaid because they don't pay their fair share.
Right.
You know, you throw everything off balance with the land. Here you have national forests and things that were set aside because they're old.
Right.
You know, and these companies are like locusts. They're just going to go through, eat up everything, and then you have unusable land. Right. And that's the way it always goes. That's why that stuff was set aside in the first place. But
they'll build something on it, and then when it falls apart or it sinks,
houses. They'll stick houses on there that you can't afford.
Yeah.
You know, no, you can get tiny houses now. That seems to be the thing. There's no fucking way in the world I'm gonna spend $75,000 to live in a tractor trailer.
Well, I like the containers.
I like the concept, but the concept in the very beginning was low cost housing, alternative housing.
Yes.
But now it's to that point, like everything else, they take it and they bastardize it. And here you're spending $100,000
right
on a container that I can't even fucking. You know what? I always thought about that shit too, ladies. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. But in these tiny houses, you know how like they have like the loft bedrooms. You can't even fucking stand up in that shit if you wanted to fuck. It's like I could. I'm 6 feet tall. Look, I couldn't. You say on your knees, yes, because that's all you're going to be doing. And then when you older, who the hell going to be climbing up a ladder?
I don't know.
I would have to look. I'm going to have a what is it? A piss container or something in the corner because I've been fell off in the kitchen because of course your bedroom is over top of your kitchen always.
Slip off the ladder and bust your ass in the kitchen.
Yes, every time trying to make it to the bathroom.
God dang.
No, they need to just have a hole in the floor. You just right down straight to the toilet. But it's
have a one level thing, I guess, where it's just like an apartment.
But why spend that kind of money? But then here's the kicker. Just like with mobile homes, you always have to pay for the property. That's an ongoing thing. It never ends. So yeah, it's cute. You know, then you have to pay for the utilities, unless you try to go off grid. But there aren't too many places in the United States where you're gonna, you have all the seasons working together. They've taken something so simple and just, like I said, and bastardized it. It's just ridiculous. They say, well, my 3-bedroom house costs $100,000.
I mean.
Girl,
looking to
you can stand up in your bedroom, Patty Duke. I know you can. You pay all that money. Yeah, it's cute.
It's all about downsizing and being more economically friendly, right?
Well, if they want to do that, they can come down here. They can come down here to the city and live in these carriage houses that they have. They're about the size of for 2 people apartments, and these are houses. But
that is true. But they're not going to do that. Who's going to do that? You're going to build something that gives.
I don't want them around here anyway. Gentrifying up every goddamn thing. Yeah. Would you say, yeah, Patty, you can stand up? That's right, because I couldn't see you crawling around on your knees in the bedroom. Well, yeah, I could. Not because you couldn't stand up.
What? I'm not even going there anyway. In other news,
Okay.
Voters, okay, speaking of bastardizing everything, Trump voters say that racism against white Americans is bigger. It's a bigger problem than racism even against Black Americans. Now I say, or African Americans, or however you want to label yourself.
Whatever it is here. Mm-hmm.
Do I even need to read this article? Absolutely not. Because I don't see any Trump supporters being gunned down by police officers. I mean, they may have, Trump on Trump crime. They may have Trump on Trump crime, Trump supporter against Trump supporter crimes that go unnoticed, untelevised. So that part may be true, but to clearly say that the racism that they face is a larger problem.
It's hard. It's hard being a white person in America.
It is so hard being a white person in an America where you're not looked at anymore as being the end all save all of everything. That's it. That's it. Everything you learn about it is not about you anymore in school. It's not about your founding fathers anymore. It's not about anything that you've hung your hat on for however many years this America has been around. What is it, like 300 and something, 400 and something?
White lives matter. All lives matter.
White lies matter, I guess. White lies, because that's all it's been. It's been.
We say white lies.
Yes, white lies matter. It's been white lies. You have been lied to your entire time, and now because you've been lied to this entire time, we're supposed to all feel sorry for you for being lied to. No, it's called crack a book. Read a book.
Oh, I'm glad you said crack a book. I was like, where's he going with this? Crack a what?
Crack a book, cracker. Read a book. That's all. Read a book. That's it.
Oh, but you know what? They can't do that because they've taken them all out. Now you have to go on. Now you have to go online. You can't. The books that you used to get for free that you could borrow.
But you're not going to online either because they don't know how to work a computer. They don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. All I want to do is call in and do this. Like, the world is changing. I know
the world has changed, and that's why they can't adapt. Whenever you have catastrophic things happen, that's why they just fall to pieces. We just say, well, I guess I won't have to pay for that. I ain't got it no more. Woo, got out of that bill, that relief.
Because they was able to scapegoat for so many years just by being mediocre, and now that mediocre is not good enough anymore.
Oh, and it is going to tell big time.
Because being mediocre doesn't cut it anymore. Now all of a sudden there's a problem. It's not about woke. It's not even about learning about Black history. It's about the fact that they're realizing that how mediocre and non-important they are in the whole scheme of things. That nothing they do matters. The little bit of control that they have is slipping away. So they're trying to do any and everything to kind of hold on to it. But the funny thing is, these people that are doing the rallies and pulling out these threats, they're not going to protect you when it's time to get paid. Ask the people from January 6th. Ask the motherfuckers. Has Trump come down and sent one of his personal lawyers that he's paying for out of pocket, which is none, to
he didn't do a fundraiser for them.
But he says now, if you vote for him to make him president, he will pardon you. He had time to pardon them until the 20th of January.
That's right.
This is why I'm saying about these people being so asinine that it's just like, no, you're children with a tantrum. These are not adults. These are children with tantrums that we're dealing with. There's no way you can sit here and tell me that he had time to pardon you for your January 6th tantrum, but he did not. But now he's talking about well, if you vote for me to be president in 2024, I got you. And you people are falling for it. Get the fuck out of here.
I guess it's kind of upsetting to find out that all your life you've just been looked at it. You've just been looked at as a wigger. You're just a wigger. You're just a wigger. That's all.
Your whole life existence, what you thought was grandiose and great, because it was like, well, they had slaves, but we're not slaves, so that's nothing to do with us. But now you realize y'all come from nothing. Y'all done nothing but steal, destroy, and claim stuff that wasn't yours. There were people already here when you got here, and you have this fictitious Spanish whatever man talking about he discovered what? People that were already here? How do you discover that?
But the bad part is knowing these things, but still not seizing the opportunity to make the change.
Why
that you still fall back into the same old, because regardless, your reign is going to end. Your reign is going to end. Everything comes to an end. Nothing stays the same. It's like that damn song. But nothing stays the same.
Right.
Your run is over. Somebody else is going to. It's time for somebody else to take the helm.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll do a better job. Hopefully they're not contaminated with Western ideology.
Their main thing is that they hope they don't get enslaved. That's their whole thing. We
don't want to enslave you. You know what we want you to do? We want you to go out to the Midwest and just go live and just stay there. Please don't come back. Don't even come for vacation. Matter of fact, we'll give you Florida, but as we'll put up a border wall so that you don't come, and you stay in those areas. You're just those types of people that you just can't mind your fucking business. God, just go away. That's all we ever wanted you to do is go away. We don't want to talk to you. I mean, some of the guys they want white women. I don't know why, but we don't want to be bothered with you. You bring confusion. Everywhere you go, you bring confusion. So I'm good with you.
Well, there are some brown people that want to be that want to push.
That's fine. They can go.
Well, this Indian candidate running for president, Ramaswamy, he's pitching his whole Trump mantra, saying about keeping America first and all this other kind of stuff. And I'm just like, sir, you do know you're brown, right? But I get go ahead.
You know what he would be? He would be a sand nigga.
Oh,
yeah. This is a term that was told to me because somebody white was talking and they made the mistake when they were talking about somebody and referred to Middle Eastern in that region, Northern Africa, as sand niggas.
Oh.
And I was like, have you lost your fucking mind? Do you know what you just said? Well, and because they were talking to me and I guess they forgot.
Oh.
That regardless, a nigga is a nigga, okay? Wow. But they're sand niggers, and that's how they look at them. You're just a sand nigger.
Oh,
just because you have sharper features and black hair, you're still one of them. You're just on a little higher level.
Yeah. Well,
I had never heard of the term.
That's new to me. I've never heard of the term at all. It's new.
Well, and probably everybody else because they'll probably block the shit out of this this one too.
This one too.
So,
right? And it's perfectly fine. So he is running on the Republican ticket. He is his family is of Indian descent, and he's basically pushing Trump's thing. And I thought to myself, but you're brown, sir. And as I went through and read the rest of the article, I said to myself, this is exactly what the goal of racism is. If you get one group to then kind of banter with you to feel like, okay, well, I've been included. I've been acclimated. I'm a part of the team. Now we're going to go after this one group. And it's like, but you're brown. You're the color. When they say black and people of color, you are the people of color. And to think that, you can boldly stand there in the Republican ticket and be against the same thing that got your parents here to give you a better life. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, Patty says she's heard of the term. Good. I thought it was just me.
No.
And somebody had a too relaxing moment when they forgot who they were talking to.
Yeah, I would guess so. That's very relaxed.
My motherfucking eyes was like that. I was like, what did you say?
That was almost a folding chair moment.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, we had chairs, but they weren't folding.
Well,
I know I'd have pulled some shit. I'd have pulled some shit and lifted them motherfuckers up. What are you talking about?
Doesn't have to fold as long as it
But
cracks.
they do. As long as it cracks.
Yeah. As long as it cracks where it needs to. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but they do. You have a lot of these groups. I mean, you know, throughout history, you had the Italians and the Spanish that were grandfathered into being white as a group when they weren't. The Irish, that type of thing. So I guess that they figured that they would fall in that group also, as long as they're not considered. We're not black,
right,
or we're not African,
right,
because the Africans need to understand that too.
Right.
That as long as you look like us, we walk down the street, and if I go over to Nigeria, I'm gonna see Pookie and Man over there too.
Right, exactly. Which is crazy to me. In other news, real quick, we only have 3 more stories to go. Women who use the contraceptive pill as teenagers are 130% more likely to become depressed as adults. This is what the studies are showing. Now, I don't know if it's white women, black women, women of color, all women.
I would believe it would be all women because it's a hormonal.
Yeah. But you know, sometimes they like to give a little breakdown of things.
Yeah, but to start so early because you're going through puberty.
Yeah.
You know, you're going through puberty at that time.
But are you taking contraceptives as a teenager? Unless you are sexually active.
No, they'll put them on it with. You don't have to be sexually active to regulate their cycle.
Okay.
So,
I mean, right.
You know, that's always, you know how it is. It's like they give you a pill for everything, type of deal, and
yeah, higher.
I mean, some. You talking about like, especially if they're sexually active, you know, in their preteens,
right?
That's the first thing it's a quick fix.
Right.
See, that's what makes it easier too. It's like, oh yeah, my mom told me she put me on the pill.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. It's like, no, you just need to keep your legs closed. You're nasty. You don't need to be. You don't know what you're doing anyway. These are the same ones that haven't never experienced an orgasm until they're in their 30s because they're out here just willy-nilly in with everyone. What are you laughing at? I think it's a crying shame. You out here doing all of this and you don't even it's like, I never even knew it was that supposed to happen. But it's true and it happens.
Okay. So the study was done actually, well, I said the study was actually done in larger parts of the world. So they did 265,000 women in the UK.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Patty Duke.
From the ages of 37 to 71. Between the year.
If it's 71 and you still taking birth control.
We're talking about adults that have experienced depression.
Oh, depression. Why are you giving a 71-year-old woman birth control pill?
From taking birth control early as a teenager.
Well, actually, I'm going to hand it off to mama. Yeah, you go, girl. But at 71, I don't know that. Well, you know, you pass out enough. You pass out enough PlayStation 5s, you can have anything you want.
Not PlayStation 5. Nobody.
Well, you don't know what you could buy. That or Xbox.
Definitely check out that article. The last 2 members of the Little Rock 9 have been blasting and sounding off against the restriction of the AP history courses. Again, we talked about earlier about a lot of these states removing a lot of the Black history from the AP courses, let alone regular history teaching. basically talking about how slavery was a good thing because it taught slaves a trade. And they were so better for it. It was such a great thing. In this, the Little Rock Nine, if you're not aware, the Little Rock Nine was of the school students integrating into the Little Rock schools and high school, and they had to have military escort, thanks to the president, because of course, the governor wasn't having it. So they've been known as the Little Rock Nine. They have been out here blasting a lot of these governors and other political leaders about restricting AP Black courses in school because they themselves were a part of history.
Mm-hmm. Now, here's the funny part. They've been going and they've been over on TikTok. They've been looking at a lot of the old photos and a lot of the protesters.
Yeah.
They've been looking at in the background. They've been doxing them.
Oh, really? That's
yes.
interesting. That's probably how Jerry Jones' ass got doxed.
Yes, that's exactly. They've been doxing them. So so it's like a game now. It's like, who is this? And they'll hold up a picture, and then the whole fun is just backtracking. So and so lives, so and so does this now, or so and so died such and such, whatever. But I think it's great. They can keep right on doing.
Yeah, because they should be exposed, and that's the problem. You want this stuff to go away so these people aren't exposed for something that we've done in the past.
Yeah, no, we want to know what Peepaw was doing back then.
That's it, right? Unveil these bitches. Like, no more hoods, as Miss Bynum says. No more sheets, no more hoods. These hoods got to come off, and they got to be exposed. If they was bold enough to do it, then you should be bold enough to stand in it, even in your 80s. Stand in it. What the hell? That's just crazy. And in some brighter news, well, bright but not so bright. Remember the story of the Burger King worker who had never missed a day in 27 years of working, and all he got was like a sippy cup, a book bag, and some bullshit. Someone has gifted him $400,000 for his retirement. Kudos to the gifter for that enormous gift. I mean, that is amazing. Sad that Burger King themselves, after 27 years of never missing a day, and I get that he may have some kind of mental delay or something going on. But still, that's abuse in so many ways. That's so many other things that the company itself.
Yeah, but you have to thank social media for bringing his story, his social media and his daughter.
Yeah, for bringing it to the attention of so many, because it would have went unnoticed. And we would have not have known that this man have not missed a day for 27 years and got a book bag, a coloring book, and some fucking color pencils and bullshit.
Now what Burger King should have done was set him up with a franchise.
That's exactly what I was about to say out of my mouth. That's for 27 years not missing a day. He should have had his own store. Or or enough shares where he could live comfortably and nobody would need to donate $400,000 for his retirement. He should have already.
Now actually, he take that money and put that money right. He'd be all right until it's time for him to go meet that big Burger King in the sky.
Right, but that's just crazy that. It took social media, and that's why people say, "Oh, the media is horrible." Not in every aspect, and I don't think social media is bad in every aspect, because we get to learn a lot. There's a lot of things at our fingertips and things that we may not have known about, seen, or discovered. But thanks to social media and how things get around, you find out these stories, these situations. You become very aware of them, and they come to your attention. like the story of, and this is the last one. There was a young man who sent me that. One of y'all sent me that. I think it was. Who is the story? Is it? No. There was one of a young man. I don't know where it went. I hate when what you call it does this crap.
It doesn't populate.
Yeah, it's like the story is there, and then I guess depending upon the traction, they pull it.
Oh, okay.
It'll come back to me. I'll find it. But regardless, not just the word. There's always situations where social media works, and social media works in the aspect where we get to learn things about situations that happen in towns and neighboring cities that we would not know anything about. If you wait for cable news to actually let you know what's going on, a lot of times I have watched cable news and was really sitting there going, we talked about that last week. We talked about that 2 months ago. They just talking about this now. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, social media works when you actually make it work. And I think it puts these people, it puts them on notice that, hey, you may think you're getting away with it, but no.
Yeah, by not mentioning it, you think you get away with it,
right?
But it moves at the speed of light, because as soon as something happens, and that's why I believe TikTok is having an issue, because they are out there. They are shadow banning. They are snatching these children's channels down for telling the truth. And that's all it is. And it's the government.
Yeah,
it's the government, because they don't want us to have that type of ability to communicate and transparency. And these. Yeah, like I said, everybody's all over the United States, and we have privy to certain levels of information, and they don't want us to have that. So this is why they want to clap down on it.
But as long as you can talk about the bullshit, though, you could get
he's perfectly fine.
They're perfectly fine talking about stuff that don't matter, but the stuff that matters they don't want you to talk about. Which
I'm gonna go back up in the chat. Sebastian had asked, had anybody? They were talking about. I guess we were talking about movies earlier. Has anybody seen Emancipation? I've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. We can talk about that on the flip side.
Like I said, I just wanted to jump that up. And we're good.
All right, sure, no problem. So since we're an hour and 3 minutes in, this is where we're going to flip gears a little bit and get to who said that?
Foolishness.
This thing is killing me today.
Who said that? Who said that? Who is this saying that? Who said that? Who said that?
Hello. Yes, this is the part of the show where, of course, we get to just talk, and it's not so serious. YouTube stuff, news, entertainment, all that good stuff. So this is the more relaxed part of the show.
I don't know it all depends on what the story is, how relaxing it is.
So I forgot what my first thing was, but I will go by memory. I don't know what the first thing was. I think was it Tent Gate? I think it might have been Tent Gate. Well, Tent Gate, because everything gets a gate around here. So Tent Gate would be Dovey. She has now moved from Just Reading My Books location to an unknown location, and she does her little, in a little canopy, little backyard tenting area in somebody's backyard, where she's done most of her lives. Now,
it's not a tiny house.
No, not to my knowledge, not a tiny house. It could be, but not to my knowledge. The reason why I just bring this up, because it's funny, and I think few people on YouTube do the same thing. That Sassy, who was the Sassy Show, who was kind of supporting and trying to navigate that whole situation between Just Read My Book and Dovey in the very beginning. Dovey was fine with the way, the navigation was happening and the way she was trying to kind of find a medium and a common ground between the two as they went back and forth, and all that was fine and dandy. even trying to make sure she was removed from set location, and also had a hotel or someplace to go to during the altercation that was fine and perfectly fine and dandy. However, now that everything has been settled and people have gotten to hear her side, just read my books, and a little bit of the truth, because it's 3 sides to every story, she comes out with her unbiased observation, I guess, or just an observation. I won't even say it's unbiased or biased. I don't know, but just an observation of everything that she was probably included in, knew about, didn't know about, just found out about, or heard about from Just Read My Book or whatever. And Dovey didn't quite like her assessment. So then now it's a problem. But I just don't get, like, it's out here. You put it out here. Now, granted, she may not have personally, put it out there, but once you hit the live button and homegirl was hollering in the background, it was content. It was content. Whether people like you, love you, don't really watch you, whatever it is, it became content, right? And so that's something that you have to respect. You do, just like as if you wanted to do content on somebody else. It's the same thing. You don't become exempt from content because you're you. You don't. Everybody is content. And if the person happens to befriend you is also a content creator, then you definitely become content that they can talk about on their channel. And you have become that. And because you allowed the Sassy Show into the workings of whatever you had going on, to where she may have had personal information that the viewing public may not have had, certain things, that makes it even more interesting. Because at first it was all sassy this and sassy that and sassy. And now it's the hell with sassy. I don't need you, in layman's terms. I'm paraphrasing. But all that kind of stuff. And it's just like, it's funny how things change so quickly. That's really interesting. But we will stay abreast to see what this is. Now, Sassy does her shows on Sunday. So it'll be interesting to see if she addresses Miss Dovey and her what was it, the storms or tropical storm Hillary, her little fury that she has going on. We'll see if she does address it. That will be interesting to see if she does address it. Now, in other news past that, we had 7 signs of a liar. Or 7 signs of a lie. 7 signs of a lie. So 7 stars who, in this sector is pretty popular, had a rendezvous with a content creator from a different part of YouTube. And, it was a budding romance. It was videos and little notes and posting on the community wall and dates, and y'all not getting it like this, while most of y'all itches over here talking shit. I'm out here dating with my man, and all that kind of stuff that is done here. And come to find out, the person that connected them a little bit was This Beach Is Better. Now, I don't personally know Beach, but we communicate on here on YouTube, and she's fine with me. I don't have an issue. She's a woman who knows what she wants and knows what she doesn't want. And, some people have an issue with assertive women. My older sister is one who is very assertive, and they always have an issue with her when it comes to her kind of demanding things from people. But just the recent in the Star Saga, she got ghosted by Set Man. And then all of a sudden she popped up with, I'm pregnant. It was almost like the Norbit situation. It was like, Norbit, I'm pregnant. And he's like, what? Pregnant? I'm pregnant. I'm with child. And personally, I just think it was to get the man's attention. If he ghosted you and you felt the need to get his attention, he wasn't answering your text messages, phone calls, inboxes, DMs, none of that. The way to do it is to say, what? You're pregnant. Because what, and especially on YouTube, on the internet, what is that going to do? The people who associate themselves with him are going to call him and go, yo, dogs, homegirl says she pregnant. And it's either going to get you to respond or have somebody else, an adversary, a person who is advocating for you to speak on your behalf in regards to this quote unquote pregnancy. So now we all know, and if we don't, then I'm about to include you on some things, especially here in the sector. When you say certain things, keywords, heartstringing things, people will donate for no reason. They don't even have to know if it's true or not. You just say it and somebody will go, here's the Cash App, because you, here's the Cash App. Oh, so she said she was pregnant. Now, I was there, I watched it, and people were saying, oh my gosh, that's God bless. And you could hear the phone going ding, 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 ding in the background until she put it on silent. So you couldn't hear the Cash Apps rolling in, just for people just being supportive of the fact that she realized she was pregnant or whatever. She did this whole short clip of her going into a doctor's office. I said, oh, you don't know
these motherfuckers go through some extreme.
Going to a doctor's office, but the conversation was muted, so you didn't know what she was talking about. She
probably a podiatrist. You probably didn't look for some coins.
Exactly. It could have been a nutritional doctor that was talking about her diet for the next week or whatever, or he was getting some food supplements or whatever it could have been. We don't know. You just saw the coat, the person, and the lips move, and then all of a sudden, voila, you get an ultrasound, right? So then everybody's going, oh, well, the ultrasound, it must be real. She's pregnant. There's the ultrasound. There's the ultrasound. Ness no mess. And doing this whole back and forth with, is 7 Stars lying? Discovers, pulls up the photo because the photos were taken down. All of the little clips and things, 7 had taken them down because recently the wife of Set Man had put stalking charges against 7. So she had to appear in court, right? So having to appear in court, what happens? People get to see you, right? So of course, once they saw that she possibly could not be pregnant, I'm sure they ran to their social media and their friends. They're like, hey, get the word out. There was no baby bump. None whatsoever. So of course she turns around and says, oh yeah, I had an abortion back in June or July. I'm not going to tell you when it was because I don't want people to know. That's neither here nor there. The fact of the matter that I find it funny, you announce that you're pregnant, announce that you're keeping the baby, you write all these posts that, oh, you were made in love, you came in love, this, that, and love, and I loved you so much, and all this stuff that you were posting. Then you say later on, oh, I did it because I wasn't going to have no tarted baby, right? Now, funny part about that is this. You say that, but however, your actions show that who's the real tart here and who has the tart gene. Like, yeah, he may have some children maybe on the spectrum, but honey, you might want to check your own gene pool because your actions right now are solely showing that you are a bit, on the scale yourself. So with that, Ness had found the photo and put the photo she found online side by side. And as you can go to the community wall and check, side by side, they are the same exact photo. The only thing that's changed about the photo is the filtering of the color of the photo, but everything is exactly the damn same. And the way people were like, oh no, that's different. There's a line here. The same fucking photo. Same lumps, same bumps, same circles, same everything. It was absolutely ridiculous that people were trying to justify that they were two different photos. Same fucking photo. Same fucking little baby in there that God knows where that came from, and anything. And then furthermore, truthfully told, if she really did have one, it was expensive because she was past the time where it was almost a no-go. So it just, the whole story just don't pan out. I mean, I just think you go so far, and people like, oh, you're angry. Why is everybody angry at 7 stars? It's not about, I don't think anybody was angry. It was like, why would you go so far? Why would you?
Content and cash.
Right. But then you said nobody did nothing for you. Right. Yeah. Get into it. Give them people back their money. That was, oh, you were pregnant. Congratulations. I'm sure you got cash apps when you uttered your mouth and said you were pregnant. If that was the case, give the people back their money then. If nobody gave you anything.
No, that money's spent. That money's spent.
Of course it is. But that is just the very point. So, you know, wish you all the best.
Papa's formula. And
wish you all the best. But at the same time, go get help. Go get help. It's really clearly very evident that there is something there that you need to really sit down with someone and have a conversation with, because there's a lot of things that this same behavior always exhibits itself when you are encountering yourself with men. And yeah, that's just something that, you know, you're too old to be acting like that. Like it was just like a little kid, it's like a little girl in love. Like, and I mean, granted, you did slip up with your conversation with VS that you thought was private and say kind of sort of that he was your first relationship, your first official full relationship. So the fact that you even thought that was a relationship says volumes to a lot. And so, yeah, I think it's important for just to take a minute and chill out. Take a minute and chill out and really get to the bottom of what this is, that when you feel abandoned by a man, when you feel that a man has separated themselves from you for whatever reason, you go into this mode of this place you go into, and you don't see the self-value in yourself that causes you to do these things. So I don't know. But I'm no psychiatrist, so I can't help you.
Okay, Dr. Phil.
I can't help you, girl. But Molly, you in danger, girl. So anyway, and past that, of course, VS is now on your ass because of course she was, you know, I think she was pregnant. I thought she was pregnant. Had your back all like, go 7. And then because you decided to cut your interview short, because you did, you stayed there for like 2 seconds and then you hitched it to go to Nika's channel and do a whole interview. She was out for blood on your ass. So granted, yeah, you can't. The leopard may try to change and try to snuggle up or put on a different costume, but that leopard's still the same. You can't change your spots on that motherfucker. She is still the same person. She may have changed a little bit or found a little center of focus, but if you cross her, you see that old person come right back out, and she has come out to come after 7. So hopefully 7 has her 7 lucky stars to help her with this whatever is going on in the background. But anyway, past that, let's talk about this merch here. All right, so Lord have mercy. I thought we have reached the low with the prayer clause, but no, I think that we have surpassed the prayer clause. So for those of you who may not know, Juicycation 2025 2023, 25 or 23, depending on how you look at it. It's like the dress. Is the dress blue or is it black? I don't know. So there was merch for the Bon Voyage cruise of Juicycation for 2023. And the merch isn't merching. For those of you who've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who haven't, you can check Lipstick Alley. I would drop it on my community wall, but I just don't. It looks like.
Say, please stop calling that merch.
What's the pretzel place?
Look, you see everybody up here making faces and sighing, so you could just imagine.
What's the pretzel place?
And it's Auntie M's,
Aunt Annie's,
Aunt Annie's,
and the pretzel place that's in the mall. They got the sugar sweet, the cinnamon sugar pretzels and all that kind of bullshit. That is what the logo on the whole shirt looks like. It looked like an old thing of like somebody's old syrup. Looks like a can of Old English.
No, you didn't. Old English.
Looks like the original White Castle merch. It does.
White Castle
merch. Yes. Looks like, can I get a double stack of burgers?
I don't know if y'all can see it.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see it. You could see it. It looks very
merchy.
It looks very merch. It looks yeah. Looks like grandma going to bingo. Yes, looks very much like grandma going to bingo. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, we can't tell whether it's 25 or 23.
It looks like
I'm 25. Saying 25.
It does look like it's 25, but it's 23. It's 2023. I mean, I don't know. Now, looks like a beer can. It does. It looks like
that does.
Looks like a beer can.
Malt liquor. All right.
Malt liquor. Juicy booty malt liquor. That's what it's. Juicy booty malt liquor.
You say White Castle. Yeah, that is it. White Castle too. Mm-hmm.
It looks very yeah. Now, a few questions. One, Miss Vivian V, however you choose to be called. Are you the only one? Are you the Tyler Perry in this situation? Are you the
I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm gone. I'll see y'all later.
Are you the Tyler Perry in this? Are you like the orchestrator, the director, the writer, the everything? Are you the everything in this whole thing? Were there no other eyes? Not Uncle Vic. I didn't say it. Were there no other eyes that was able to give you constructive direction or creative direction on what should be added, how to go, or anything of that nature? Because there's a few things wrong with this, right? So let's just start. Of course, the merch itself, the display, kind of not appealing, and I can't see anybody wearing that for their trip. Like, they paid money. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you pay money for things, you expect certain things. And that's just not something that if I paid into that I would expect. Now, if they didn't pay for it, then, hey, you get what you don't pay for, I guess, kind of, sort of. So that part. But the graphic alone on the shirt is not centered. It's off center. I don't know if you noticed, but it is. It's quite off center. And then two, in modeling set outfits, I know y'all always talk about club fat and club this and club that, and how the other women on a lot of these things are fat. But that shirt was ill-fitting. So it probably would have behooved you to get larger sizes, and if that's the largest size they have, then that would be a problem for any other Juicycation attendees who happen to be either your size or larger, that they would be able to fit in set garments. So the only thing that they would be able to do is walk around with the bag and or the sippy cup, right? Because those shirts were not, no, they look like a can of biscuits. They look like the Pillsbury when you go to when you bust it open and you jump back because you don't want it, because you think it's going to pop. You was giving me very much, you was about to pop, right? And nobody wants to feel that way on a cruise. You're already going to be eating because it's a buffet. We know that y'all like buffets, right? And you like to eat, even on your slim diet or your slim fast or your pill popping, you still like to eat, right? So you want to make sure that when you're eating something, you're comfortable and you're not constrained to a tight, ill-fitting garment while you're trying to enjoy the large buffet that you paid for, right? So I think being that you still have time to revamp this whole concept of the merge. Now, my theory is, and prove me if I'm wrong, not blue ribbon. I just saw that. It does look like blue. Hey, what's going on, Darius? How you doing, sir? My theory is that this merch was a gimmick for the people to kind of get into and make fun of or whatever. And this is not actually going to be the merchandise that you actually give on Juicycation. Although you do have it up on the website for sale for $20 or so or more. 20,
How much?
20, 25. It's like 20 or $25.
Is that shipping included?
Probably not.
25? Oh my goodness.
Probably not. How you said what? 25? Oh yeah. T Danielle says $25.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, granted, I don't know. I really don't know what to say, because I say this, right? Granted, everybody says, "Oh, this is not, a brand is a big thing, and nobody on here really has a brand," and that's not necessarily true, right? Nobody on here has a big brand, like nobody's out here got like a Nike brand or anything like that. But you do have a brand. You have a personality which sets a brand, right? And Jay Wilson and The Writer Lives and all that encompasses him. There is a brand there. And there is this certain kind of prestige that he puts forth in the things that he claims he owns, how he carries himself, and how other people carry themselves, right? Or should carry themselves. He always talks about the many degrees he has and the things he's done and all of those things. And yet, you see evidence of otherwise when you see things like you had prayer cloths, and you said, who was making the prayer cloths? Vivian. And who was praying over the prayer cloths? He was. How are you praying over the prayer cloths? Were you doing this over the phone, via Zoom? How were you praying over these pieces of fabric? So that was the first sign that something wasn't, that doing merch is not your wheelhouse, right? But then we move forward to now planning a trip where you have other people coming, some who are content creators, some who are not. And that's what you present as merch. In the words of Kwani, my God, today, what is it? If you don't scrap that right now, prestige is a stretch. I know, T Danielle, but I was trying to be nice. Right now, like this instant, and go back to the drawing board with something else and ask other people, like, get a board together. I don't see how you have all these people and there's no friends on YouTube, but you do have friends on YouTube, but we will never know who these friends are. But yet the only person doing anything is Vivian. Is Vivian your only friend? I'm asking for a friend who don't care. But I'm just like, everybody needs a team, whether they work in silence or you know who they are. You still need a team of people of like-mindedness to come together and make a thing happen, right? She's not Tyler Perry. She directing the play and the movie and starring in it and wearing the clothes and sewing the garments. There was one piece of thing in it. I didn't know what it was. I really thought it was a sheet, like a Juanita Bynum, No More Sheets. And then I was told it was a tank top and you could see arm out the sleeve. I really thought it was like a poncho, like a t-shirt kind of poncho thing. I didn't know what it was. But the fact that, come on, you talk too much, to be very frank, if I can, you talk too much shit about people and their things to then pull up with that shit. You got something to say about everybody's situation, everybody's life, everybody's what they doing, what they not doing, who they doing, and anything else. But then when it comes down to what evidence you can show, you always show something that's piss poor and lackluster. And I get it. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing. But then you find people that it is their thing. Because at the end of the day, whose name is this on? It's not anybody's name but yours. Juicy casing is what they gave you. Juicy booty is what they gave you and what you use and you hang your hat on to utilize as something to, continue to sell your brand. That is a poor representation. That's horrible. That's like fifth grade work. That's like my youngest godchild did that. That's crazy. And I couldn't see anybody in their right mind spending their hard-earned money after paying for a cruise to buy merchandise. If they did it out of pity. And for that pity, you better do every dance, line dance, shuck and drive, every limbo, every kind of event that you have planned. You better show up for everyone. Because that's really sad. It shows a lack of preparation. It shows a lack of respect for the people who actually are willing to spend their time with you, because that is not something that you should ever take lightly. And the fact that you allowed this, even because, again, it's on you. It's not on Vivian. I know we like to, poke fun because it's funny, because she does do everything. She, she wears all the hats, literally, and the sashes. But she is not the one that's going to get blamed. And she's not the one she is getting dragged in LSA for the modeling as well as the t-shirts. But it's not her that they're looking at. They're looking at you, because this says everything about you and how you are and how you run business in general. I mean, some of us already knew that because we know you on that business scale, that you talk a game of business, but you ain't about business for real. Like anything kind of progressing and moving. No, you very much status quo, like that. The t-shirts, the design, the 80s family reunion, my cousin got shot in the back, and and we wearing these t-shirts to the funeral. That's very much all that you give in the t-shirts, and it's very much that is you. From what I know of you, that is very much you, your thing. You in there. However, for someone who likes to always pick fun at other people and their things and the trips that they do and all the stuff that they're doing, because it's just YouTube and it's just something to talk about, and if it's on there, you're going to talk about it. Yeah, no, step your pussy up, both of them. I know you got a few of them. I know you lost some because They probably hanging, but step your pussy up. If you're gonna really be out here trying to compete in the area of gathering people together and having trips, because nobody talks about his trips as you think somebody was shading you about yours. No, I mean, I don't think it was that, but just note, step your pussy up, sir. Because yeah, that was piss poor. That was piss poor. And no, nobody's putting me up to it. If you really wanted to be clear, nobody's put me up to it. It's what I saw and it's my thoughts. So step your pussy up. And mind you, note to you, I wouldn't say anything about anybody at all after that display. At all. Unless, like I said, I could be proven wrong. By the time these people get on the ship, there's a whole different set of merchandise that they will be adorning. Because if any of them are adorning that, no, I would rather wear my own clothes. Yeah. And I think that's all I got on that. I think that's it.
Did you leave anything?
No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I think that was it. I really do think that was it. I just yeah, I couldn't. I expected. I didn't expect that. I don't know what I expected, but that I don't think I expected at all. I thought maybe, like, no, he'll like it'll be something. I wasn't expecting nothing, like, ooh, but I wasn't expecting. Like, I really thought, even in looking at it just straight off the back, I was like, it's not centered. Who doesn't see that? Who doesn't see that? You immediately, first of all, you ask for the one, right? So you can view the one to ensure that the product looks cool. You don't do it and then go, all right, we're just going to sell it right off the back. No, you, because you put it on a picture of a shirt. It's not physically, you don't physically do it. You didn't do it. You took a template and you went and then enlarged it. You did all that shit off an app or on the computer, and then they put it together to your specifications, right? So when you do that, what do you expect? But just do better. Just do better. Do better, sir. Do better. Do better. Do better. Because it's on you. Nobody else is going to be blamed for this but you. Just like everybody else's situation, you blamed them, they're going to blame you. So note that whenever you do things, you have to put your best self forward. What we always try to tell you, even in the panel situation, when you didn't want to do certain stuff, that this is you. You created this. We didn't create this. So the fact that we're doing this for you to push your creation forward, we shouldn't be doing this. You should be the one doing this. But I get it. You don't know how to do it. So, okay, cool. But don't dismiss the people for doing what they're doing. But again, here you are in the same situation. You can't do it, so you give somebody else to do it. But then but you don't look into it. You're not Tyler Perry. He may do everything and wear a lot of hats, but he's got talent. So, get another director in there. Get some visual people in there. Hey, you got Kwame Speaks. He's great with visuals. Grab him up. Let him do something for you. There's tons of people. You got King Jives. Let him put some graphics on a t-shirt and do something for you. Because that shit, don't do it. Don't do it. Give them people back their money. If anybody bought that shit, give them people back their money. Take that shit down off a website and start over. You have, a month? Whew. Get to it. Get cracking. But anyway, yes, that's it. That's all I got.
You sure you ain't leave nothing?
No, no,
You sure that? You sure now?
sure, I'm
Oh,
positive.
okay.
Yes, yeah, I'm positive. I didn't leave anything out. Yeah, that's it. As far as I know somebody talked about the movie Emancipation. Yeah, we talked about that months and months ago. I did see it with Will Smith. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. I knew the story about it, so it wasn't that. It was just seeing Will Smith play that type of character that was interesting. But I mean, they put it out after he slapped what you call it, So
Yeah,
like,
that's what messed it up.
yeah.
I think he would have. I think everybody was just still hung up over that
Yeah.
whole
Oh, that,
Chris Rock thing. So
yeah.
that's what kind of screwed him up on that. But
Right.
I mean, I enjoyed it. It was entertaining. It's one of those ones that I only watch it once.
Yeah. I mean,
one-
how
it's-
many? Yeah, how many times can you watch something like that? It's just like it's like watching 12 Years a Slave for me. I can't.
Yeah, I can't go back and watch it again.
Can't.
If I miss something, it'll just stay missed.
Yeah, I mean, but they love to keep making those. They don't like to make other films that show us.
Yeah, slave porn. You can only take but so much.
I mean, that's their fantasy for real, for real. They want to go back there. They just don't want to see it. They want to go back. You got that movie Antebellum. Check that out. That's a whole modern day where they are kidnapping people, and then when they wake up, they are back transported into the Old South. So, it happens. I love everything Anton Fuqua too. Yeah, he is cool. Well, I did watch something. What did I watch that I was going to mention? It was a few days ago. I don't know where I wrote it down, but I don't see it here. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. It'll come to me. And I'll put it in the group, the community wall. But that's all I got. I don't really have anything else. Anything you would like to share? I did watch The Little Mermaid. I watched it.
Oh, good for you, because I still haven't.
Yeah. Well, why is she so damn light? I'm like, I just
Under the sea, in the water. I just couldn't keep still watching that. Like I said, messing with this YouTube shit, I got the attention span of a gnat. It's like 15 minutes max.
I was like, why the hell is she so light? Mm-hmm. You watched Beast this weekend? Beast. Was that with what's his face? That's with
Idris Elba.
Yeah, Alba and
the lion. The two girls. Yeah. I watched that one too. So
yeah, I saw that one. Yeah, it wasn't all that great. It wasn't all that great. No. What else did I see? I know it was something else that I told you about the 1 in 1,000. Go ahead.
Star Trek, Brand New World.
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's on. I think that's Paramount.
Oh, okay.
So that's out. What you call it is coming back. What is that one? The animated. The son that's a superhero and his father's evil.
Oh, on Amazon.
On Amazon, yeah, they had one to come out with Adam Eve.
Adam Eve, yeah.
Yeah, so I think next month, yeah, October. I think the series is going to start back up again.
Okay, yeah, that was good. I did watch that, and I think September, the wheel. What is the Wheel of Time? I think it is. I think it's called.
Oh, that's coming back.
That's coming back too. I can't wait for that to come back. Season 1, if you haven't watched it, do watch it. If you're into sci-fi fantasy stuff, it was really cool. Great series and show to watch. The Shy is also back. I've been watching that.
Yeah, y'all better get it in because that strike like it's going to be a while. Already got Billy Porter selling his house.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting a divorce. That I don't think that has a lot to do with. I mean, the strike wise.
Divorce, really?
Yeah, he married some white guy.
Well, yeah, he married some white guy, but that's what I didn't understand. How are you doing all this black advocacy work and you married a white guy? Don't you think he would feel away after a while? Like, granted, he may be, all with you at first.
Could you imagine living with him? I'm like,
not
just extra people would get on my nerves in no time flat. No time flat. I'd be like, go in the spare bedroom. Go away. You suck up all the fucking oxygen.
Yeah, and I personally, I just think, and I don't have anything against interracial couples or anything like that, but something has to be said with the differences, right? And when you are dealing with situations of injustice and things of that nature, and you're seeing it happen, and you are the person that is that vocal on those type of things, and you're going all these talk shows and blah blah blah. You don't think that was eventually going to?
Yeah, I'm sure it wears on you because you don't want to talk about that stuff every time, every day,
right?
That type of thing, because you never get a chance to get away from it. I'm sure it does get on your nerves.
It's something that he's not accustomed to. He has not grown up like that. You know what I'm saying? So he can't relate. He can be empathetic and sympathetic to your plight to a degree because he is married to you and that's whole kind of thing. But at the end of the day, it's not his. He hasn't lived that.
Yeah, but then too, there's that too. You have the black and white thing. Then you have the black and white gay thing. Four things going. Got a whole bunch of shit going on.
Black and white thing altogether. It's another.
Because there's nowhere near that. There's shit's nothing. Everything's easier on the white end.
Yeah,
it's like a totally different world because you wouldn't even think that half the shit you were talking about is like.
But
totally
everything
different
consists of the black and white thing. Like even we talk about gay rights and anything like that, or all these labels, people having labels.
Yeah, it's just too many. Yeah, too many.
But that's all that is other white people in the spectrum wanting to feel like, because they've always had the right to do whatever, say whatever, or be however, that even in that space, they don't want to be told you're just this or you're just that. No, I want to be this. No, I want to be that. No, call me this. Label me this. I don't want to be called that. So again, now here we are making more preferences and spaces for them to feel comfortable about being themselves. It has nothing to do, all this back and forth and all that. We don't have nothing to do with that. That has everything to do with white people in their place feeling like anywhere they go, they want to make sure that they are known, seen, heard, because you're not going to ignore them, because how could you? This country was founded by people that look like me, whether they wore wigs and heels and thigh highs, because they did. They were still founded by people that look like me. Everywhere I go, I see statues of other people that look like me. So yeah, in any space, even if I'm slightly different because I happen to love differently or whatever, I still have my whiteness to then still put me there. So I always fall back on that. So even in all these spaces, it's always about whiteness. You talk about the trans swimmer who's swimming with other women, quote unquote.
That motherfucker's a man. I don't care.
But
ain't nothing trans. He has not transitioned long enough. Yeah. That motherfucker, he got the advantage because he got a tail. But anyway,
that's all.
He's built like, but he didn't even. But as a man, he was mediocre. He was mediocre as a male swimmer. Here he is. He catapulted from mediocre to number one
But exactly, but this is what I'm saying. Even when we talked about earlier in the political side of it, they discovered how mediocre they are. So now it's I got to find another way to get on top. So now I'm going to we're going to take this whole argument of me being I'm a trans woman and I want to compete with other women, but you're not a woman, sir. But because you're white,
female.
Oh.
Female. You're not female. You could be a woman. You can, but you can't. But you're not. But you're not female.
You can't.
And 2 weeks. And 2 weeks. And 2 weeks in the training, bro.
You can't swim with them. You were born. No. You have a dick and balls.
No.
You with them.
You got a tail, so you got to swim. You got a tail. You got to swim with the males.
You can either swim with the men and step your pussy dick up, or you can get a fellow group of others like you and create a swimming competition league where you can swim and compete in those things and create your own category in those same kind of national championships. That's the only other way. Other than that, you're cheating one side because you want to get the notoriety, because you feel like you can, at least I know I can swim better than some women. I may not cut it as a man, but I can dust these women.
Yeah. But oops. Damn, I almost knocked this shit over. To me, and you've always heard me say it, we just have too many labels. There's too many labels and subcategories, which makes it harder to understand.
That comes from the fellow saltines.
It's like, it's very simple. You have male, female, you have trans in between. Everybody's in betweens, and that's enough. You don't have to have trans 0, 6, 9, 2, 5 and a half and something else because of some other variation.
Make it make sense. But anyway,
but who could live with Billy Porter? That's just too extra. Too extra.
Billy Porter can live with Billy Porter. But yeah, personally, I just think it was the him always going after, with the marching with the Black Lives Matter, always advocating for things of that nature. I can assure that it was probably tough. At first, his husband was probably all gun-ho for it. But when that starts happening and that money starts drying up too, as we've seen with a lot of other athletes and stars that go out, you get with the white man.
But you know what? But that's always the same. That's always, even like you were saying with the athletes and all too. They always think that they're going to be riding high, that this is the way it's going to be until I drop dead. And it doesn't. Everybody has their season. And you go out here and you buy this multi-million-dollar ass MC Hammer with all those goddamn fountains. That motherfucker is in a tiny house. All right.
I mean, but even with him, I don't understand how you had a top show on the Fox FX network for some time. You were so close friends with the creator of all of it, right? How could you be in the place where you are now? It gives me Andre Leon Talley tease. Like what do we do? What are y'all doing to where in which you think you get in these spaces, and because they make you feel comfortable, that you think you are comfortable?
You're just the flavor of the day.
To the point where you have nothing to show for it at the end of the day, and you leave out of here penniless, or you have to do certain stuff because you've been too busy. I mean, granted, you done walked the runways and the red carpets and some of the most elaborate and I'm sure expensive garments and things of that nature to prove a point, to make a statement. But because of one strike, you didn't have no money saved for what may happen. Waiting on
you don't always ride top, ride on the top.
Those roles don't always come. No pun intended. And those roles don't ever come, especially when you're typecast. Who's going to The last role you played, you was a fairy godmother father.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, is that all you're going to ever play?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is the fruitcake in the background? I mean, it's not, like you typecast yourself in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you're not going to get a lot of roles.
Yeah, because that's what everybody sees you. That's how normal America sees you, and it turns a lot of them off. And when it comes down to projects, good thing he's versatile between Broadway, recording.
That on Broadway. That's what he should have done.
Well, you get tired of walking around in kinky boots, but like I said,
he don't wear them still.
Yeah, but I remember when he back in the '80s. He was up and coming R&B singer. Right, fantastic voice. But during that time, that's when music was transitioning. It was going towards rap, and they were killing disco and R&B.
Right. And then he claims he couldn't be himself. But I mean, Freddie Jackson found a place.
Well, Sylvester had no problems with it. You're just gonna have your niche, your fan base, and where your fan base is. But if he was trying to go traditional R&B, no, they weren't. A lot of people back then weren't ready for that. If he was doing the clubs and everything, house music, because a lot of R&B singers that were doing house music.
Okay.
Especially the females. That's how you get that influence. You have that gospel influence. House music ain't nothing but music is nothing but gospel music.
Yeah,
that's all it is. Because at the end of the night at the club, you would always have. They were always like inspirational. What's that?
No, I was saying I agree with Patty Duke. She said they knew the strike was coming. They should have prepared.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When they started mumbling and grumbling. But yeah, but at the end of the night at the club, they were always playing inspirational music, which you could play it in church. Okay. You couldn't play it in church at that time because the beats weren't like that. They weren't like that Kurt Franklin type thing. But it was all they what's that song by Alicia Myers? I Want to Thank You.
Yeah.
I want to thank you. That's nothing. That's a gospel song.
Yeah, that's a gospel song. Yeah.
But if you listen to all of them, that's why all the big girls would always go and they would do the house music thing. If they wanted to do more up tempo stuff, you could kind of sway back and forth without too much trouble because, of course, there was still secular music types of things. But that's how a lot of like the Clark Sisters. Yeah, that was strictly gospel. Yeah. But it crossed over. I mean, because then.
Yeah, I mean they were playing Shackles and Stomp in the club. So I mean,
you could do all that, and he could have done the same thing. But if he wanted to branch out and be more mainstream, no, because they weren't going to accept openly, especially the black community, or openly gay man. Because it's odd hearing him singing those songs. That's like Luther Vandross.
Right, yeah.
When he sings, he did a couple of songs like Killing Me Softly or whatever, where he's blurring the lines, and that seems more natural because now, of course, you pretty much know his background. More natural for him, and I'm used to hearing him. I would have rather for him to sing it that way than to sing it the other way, the original way that was written. And because me just being who I am, it doesn't bother me. But some people are like, I don't want to, whatever. You just don't sing. When you're singing a song, you interject what you want to put in it anyway. Right. Put into it.
Yeah. That is true.
But they should have. As soon as they started hinting and mumbling and grumbling, and there was talks of how they could recoup some money from the streaming, which is part of the problem because you getting a check for 15 cents. It's not even worth printing that shit up just to wire it to my account. But yet your series is playing on multiple channels, multiple platforms.
Right.
And you're not getting paid for it. That's the problem. They have to work that out.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other end, the filming companies or the houses, they're making billions
Yeah.
still.
It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully.
Yeah, y'all break out them reruns of Gilligan's Island. Because I think that's all we're going to be watching this this year. Because everything's going to be late. Because just remember from the last time, you didn't start getting any movies until almost like a year and a half later. Anything decent. Some stuff they already had because it was already done and in the can. It was just
I think that a lot of that is going to be the same thing. A lot of stuff is already like in the can, but once they start to run out of canned stuff, then it's going to be an issue.
Yeah, but remember too, it does not take as long to do a series. They do it in a matter of a month now.
Yeah,
all of them had that Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is the theme of the night.
Yeah, right.
Have that, they all have that that turnover where it used to take months to do, but you can tell the difference.
Yeah.
You really can tell the difference. And even doing, especially if it's something that is heavy in CGI, it just looks crappy.
Yeah.
It looks cheap. It looks Saturday morning type cheesy.
Like a t-shirt. All right. So anyways, so that's all I got. That's all I got for you beautiful people.
And 2 hours on the nose.
Yes, and thank you so much for hanging out on this lovely Tuesday evening. Don't forget to check us out, of course, every Tuesday at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Any closing remarks, thoughts that you have for the people today? All right.
Just everyone take care.
Yes,
as long as they stream Perry Mason for you, huh?
Into Perry Mason, it was never a thing. I don't know.
Perry Mason.
Never really got into it.
The new one, the old one.
New one or the old one. My mother was a big Twilight Zone, Alfred Hitchcock type. So most of that stuff would kind of come on. I'd be like, Columbo. She was into all that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, all those TV.
Yeah, TV
detectives and stuff.
Right. Yeah, all that kind of crazy.
But then too, like I said, they only make 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And the season's done. It's like, damn, you used to get 24. It's like, you could really actually
I think now
forget.
they depend on the viewership. So if people start tuning in more, the next time when they get renewed for another season, they do more episodes. I've noticed they've done that with like The Chi and things of that nature, because people were so demanding on them coming back and that they have increased their episodes per show. So I think they play it kind of viewership to see where it stands, and then if the viewership is large, then they will do more episodes. And I think everybody's kind of holding close to the purse strings. Like, no, we're gonna get you.
What do they call it? Shrinkflation?
Yeah, something.
Where they only give you a little bit, but put it in the same size bag.
Guess they give you a big ass bag of chips and you open it on nothing but air.
Nothing but air. Well, shit, they're not even doing that. They actually shrinking the bags because they find that they save money on the packaging.
Yeah. Plus, little kids cannot fill big bags. They need little bags so they can take their little arms and fill the bags. And if you think I'm joking, look at your news, because clearly they are using child labor. But go ahead.
Crazy.
Oliver Twist, all back again.
Your kids in the sweatshop.
That's it. Can I have some more?
Kid coming home from a hard day's work.
Right.
His ass should be in school.
Sleep. What you sleeping for? You act like you had a hard day's work. Yeah, I did. I worked
12-hour shift today, Mom.
Right. Y'all
let them send their kids.
Yeah, you passing each other like ships in the night. Just one leaving.
Yeah, everybody. Everybody I think your Uber outside.
Everybody working.
Make sure they send their. Make sure that this time it's going to be your fucking kids.
Oh, they're not going to
hell with that shit.
Yeah,
hell with that shit.
That's what it should be. Alrighty, well, that's all I got. Like, once again, thank you, you beautiful people, for hanging out with us. Thank you. As always, it's a pleasure. Be safe. It's warm out there. There's still crazy folks out there. Please be safe.
And heat.
Yes.
And be mindful of the weather.
Yes.
Because where can you get a hurricane, then turn around and get an earthquake all at the same time?
Global warming is real. Please don't let these people act like it's not, and it's not something that will affect you. Yes, it is affecting the planet. Now, whether it's shifting it to restart itself or cleanse itself of all the bullshit we've done to
taking
it,
a big old fleet.
Taking a big old fleet shit on people. I have no idea. All I know is the shit's real. And you let these politicians fool your head up with gas like, oh, it doesn't exist. People are dying. Straight like that. And if we don't try to do something, more people will perish. So
yeah, stop letting these assholes control all this shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they don't know. Because all they're gonna they don't give a fuck. Because you know what? They figure by the time this shit really gets bad, they'll be dead.
They'll be dead anyway.
And that's they'll be dead. They don't give a fuck about their children.
That's why Mitch McConnell had that visitor pop in.
I know death. That's right. Death standing there waiting for that motherfucker. We coming for you, bitch. And you know this. And you know this. They gave him a glimpse. They gave him a glimpse.
They did.
Motherfucker, you better get ready because we gonna party on your ass tonight. We coming for that ass, Mitch.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's what he thought too. That shit's crazy.
Yeah, right.
Ain't nothing you can do about it, Mitch. You standing up there at the gate.
That's it.
And it's padlocked. You better go ahead and take that walk.
Big old dangling just hanging. We about to get you.
Big time.
Get him after death.
Big time. Yeah, how about the elephant one? The elephant one. I said I was like, what the fuck?
Crazy. Yes, the elephant that you sent me.
That was great.
And thank you so much, Patty Duke and others, for your Instagram DMs, the stories. Thank you.
Yes.
So they are very interesting and
it helps point us in other directions.
Yes.
Definitely.
Other stories that we definitely may miss or not even know about. So thank you so much for doing that. And those of you who follow me, if you feel need or you come across something, shoot it to me. I will definitely look at it and view it. But definitely check out that documentary that is on my community wall about the people of
shit! I can't even spell it again. Where's back up in the thing?
Something.
This is one of the ones one of the other ones that you just never heard anything about. And as long as they continue to cancel American history, because that's what it is, American history, because they have soft ass feelings. This type of thing happen, and that, like I said, they're just really upset. This fucking internet shit has really taken off. I mean, granted, it has some foolishness with it, but the amount of information that passes back and forth at the speed of light.
And some cancel mofos.
That's right, because they hop on your app and they can track you down, and you can do so much just from sitting in your house.
Canceling these bitches. But thank you so much. And with all that, have a great night. And until next time, America, peace.
Good night.